Hi friends, Mindy here. I have a little project for you today. I made this journal last month when I went to a retreat that was hosted by Corinne at Sweet and Sassy Stamps. We had a little session where we all made a prayer journal. And so this is what I created while we were there. And I have a little hinge post, I think is what it's called. I can't remember, closure here just to kind of keep everything. I used some 49 in Market paper that I had, but it started to tear a little bit, so I added this washi tape over the spine, and that should hold it just fine. In order to bind this, I went ahead and just did the twine binding. So basically all of these pages are loose. I have two signatures that are just kind of slipped in there. That way I can add paper or take paper out as I want to. You can see some of the papers that I have in here. These are some that I brought from home, and then there are also some that we got in our little packet for creating our prayer journals. So I did create two signatures here. Again, I'm just going to flip through and kind of show you. This was some of the paper that was in the little kit that we got, and then, you know, some of the stuff, this one coming up here is one that I had brought from home, and then just different kinds of paper. And then I can add to this or take away as I want to, even, you know, pull it out to work on it and then stick it back in. And then if I want to, I can always bind it in there permanently. But for right now, I think this is going to work the best. And I just have this kind of worked out temporarily for that closure. And then while we were there, I went around like a crazy person and asked for everybody to save some of their scraps and stuff from the projects that they were working on. And because that's what crazy junk journalers, I guess, do. So I just want to kind of show you some of the scraps and stuff that I have that people gave me. There's scrapbook paper, there's packaging paper, there's music paper, there's even some fabric, and I think this piece right here is some Craftex, I think is what it's called. Anyway, I even had some little remnants of some people's rub-ons that were kind of left over. And then this was some texture paste someone was practicing, kind of just seeing what that looked like. So they gave me that. I even have some packaging that I will make some journaling cards out of. I'm not going to do that today, but I will use that Tim Holtz packaging because it makes really good journaling cards and stuff for junk journals. And then just different things here, even some napkins and all kinds of different stuff. So this you can kind of see is some scrapbook paper, like that's even the little branding strip. So what I'm going to do is I have this 12 by 12, this is craft cardstock. That is a pattern that I'm not really crazy about. I've just had this in my stash forever. And so I'm going to create a collage masterboard with the scraps from everybody at the retreat. And then I'm going to turn those into some journaling cards that I can stick inside my prayer journal from the retreat. I just thought it would be a fun way to kind of, you know, commemorate all of the things that we were doing, and just a way to kind of remember, just a fun way to do that. So I am using a Yoo-Hoo glue stick. You could certainly use, you know, collage medium or whatever. Because I'm dealing with a lot of different kinds of paper and some are thinner, and I just wanted to use the glue stick. It will just work really well. I won't have to deal so much with like curling and that kind of stuff of certain papers. And you'll see that I'm just going to randomly adhere these. Most of the time when I create with a collage masterboard, I don't even really pay attention to the edges of the papers. Of the substrate. I just start gluing stuff down. And so, that's basically what I'm doing here. I got a little fussier with it this time than I normally do, but I'm just going to tear this down. Most of the edges I like to be kind of organic. I don't like this kind of straight edged on there, but some of them were just thinner strips or whatever. So I will work with those as best I can. But some people, when they do their collage masterboards, everything is very symmetrical. But I don't do very well when I do that personally, just because if, I may not cut straight or whatever. And then if everything is a little bit crooked, it messes with my eye. I'm just, I don't know. For me, I like them just to kind of be a little bit organic and everything. You can kind of see some progress here. I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing. I'm basically just gluing these scraps down onto this cardstock. So just overlapping areas, making sure that I don't, you know, have everything like on the same plane, if that makes sense. So I have like this little strip here that I'm going to kind of try to cover up some of that empty space there, but I'm trying to make sure that like the edges don't line up exactly the same, if that makes sense. And then where I can, I'm like tearing things just to have that kind of rough organic edge, and then letting that overlap some of those areas that have like a more square cut. And again, there are just about a bazillion ways that you can do a collage master board. So people will paint on them and stamp on them and everything. This is what mine looks like when everything has been glued down. And now I am going to flip this over and cut this. I like to do this blind. I don't want to see what I'm doing. It just I like the randomness of it. And so, but for the size of my journal is about 4x6. I need to make sure that these cards are actually going to fit in there. So I'm cutting them to about 3x4. So you could definitely cut them into varying sizes if you're doing one just for a random project. But because I'm doing them specifically for this journal, I'm trying to keep them within the same kind of size. So I'm just going to do a little flip through. You can kind of see how these ended up looking before I actually do any decorating on them. Just very random. I like that one for on its side for some reason. I don't know why, but for some reason I just liked it better that way. So these are kind of the way that they look right now. And then I went ahead and decorated these off camera. I have added some Tim Holtz. I've actually added some color on here with a Stabilo. And then I used these words. Actually, these were from a project that we did at the retreat. That was a mixed media canvas, and they were intended to go on that canvas, and I did not use those. So I did save them, though. That way I could use them for this project. And so this one, I have some clocks. I'm just kind of trying to mimic some of the background here. And then this black flower is actually a die cut from Tim Holtz. I believe these are called wildflower stems, and that's the 1 and 2. And I really just liked I cut them out of some black cardstock, and I really just liked the contrast, and it helps kind of push all of the busyness of the background further back. So it just brings a little bit more of a focus to the front. So you'll see some of them have a little area off to the side where I can still go back through and add some words or labels or something if I want to. This is a Tim Holtz butterfly. I liked it kind of sticking off the edge there. And then this is also a Tim Holtz butterfly with that same stem. And again, I have left it just enough decorated that if I want to add some words on some of those, I can. This is, again, those words from the retreat. And then this is another Tim Holtz. All of these are kind of that way. I just glued. And then with that area kind of over there on the right, I'll be able to add a word or something, and it will fit in there. I just wanted to give myself some room to add maybe a scripture or just something like that on there. So this is a Tim Holtz piece as well, from one of his more recent releases. And then this one is that one that I liked, kind of flipped on its side. I just had a little label on there. Also, I'll have to turn this tuck it into a pocket, but that will be okay as well. So that is pretty much it for this project. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them. If you liked this video, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and until next time, bye.